Welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Fauziya Lukman. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has on Monday sworn in 45 ministers as members of the Federal Executive Council, FEC, warning them against sectionalism and tribalism as they are ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not region or state. The swearing-in ceremony, which took place at the Presidential Villa Abuja, was graced by Vice President Kasim Shettima, President of the Senate Godswill Akpabio, Speaker House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, Secretary to the Government of the Federation George Akume, and Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF), and of course the Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. The ministers were sworn in badges of 5. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has pledged his administration unalloyed commitment to leveraging the domestic utilization, processing, and international export of Nigerian massive gas resources as a transition fall to catalyze the fundamental restructuring of the nation's economy, expansive growth during his tenure. In a meeting with board and management of Nigerian Liquefied Gas NLG Limited at the State House, President Tinubu affirmed that all encumbrance to the entrepreneurial progresses and development of the Nigerian industrial citizens, as well as any further impediment to business practices in the oil and gas sectors, will specifically be swiftly removed to create more opportunities for Nigerian companies and international partners to thrive on the natural and human resources wealth which God has bestowed upon the nation. Our correspondent has the details.
President Tinubu affirmed the position of natural gas as Nigeria's gateway to sustainable development and prosperity, pledging to build a partnership with investors that will guarantee job opportunities and skill development for Nigerian youth in the overriding best interest of the oil and gas producing environment. In his remarks, the chairman of the board told the president that the infrastructures faced by non-government stakeholders in operations were being collectively shared with the government and that the communities should play a greater role in ameliorating the situation, noting that issues of trust between investors and host communities must be properly handled with an emphasis on end-to-end process inclusivity.
For us, just 2 words will describe it: security and gas supply. They go together. That will unlock more gas to plants. We can produce at a higher capacity and we make more revenue. We pay our taxes, huge amounts of taxes and dividend declarations. All that will have an upshot if we can tackle those 2 major problems.
The delegation congratulated the president for winning the 2023 presidential elections and setting the tone early and aggressively with bold and correct long-term reforms which will transform the Nigerian economy within a short period of time.
Vice President Kasim Shettima has called on present and aspiring political office holders to emulate the virtues of the Secretary of the Government, Senator George Akume, putting in interest, unity, and progress of the nation above personal and sectional gains. Shettima gave the advice in his remarks at the reception organized by North Central Governors Forum to celebrate the appointment and accomplishment of Senator Akume in Abuja. Shettima, who paid glowing tribute to the SGF in a message titled A Life of Honor, described Senator Akume as an idea, a man of honor, a beacon of unity, loyalty, and integrity in our Nigeria. He emphasized the virtues that have endeared the SGF to so many across political and ethnical lines. The Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on HIV, Tuberculosis and Malaria, Amobi Godwin Oga, has called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency on malaria in view of its deadly impact on the citizen. Oga, who represents Ikutu and Umunachi Federal Constituency of Abia State, in a statement yesterday on occasion of this year's World Malaria Day, said, considering the threat malaria poses to humanity, every effort must be geared towards eradicating world's deadliest killer malaria. He said the House Committee on HIV, AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria Control is not unmindful of the challenges being faced by Nigerians in the fight against this ailment, especially against the control of malaria in the country, which appeared to have defied solutions. He further urges government at all levels to do more in a bid to ensure the mosquitoes are eradicated, stating that the committee will carry out its oversight functions to ascertain the role of primary health care in rollback malaria program. Speaker at the opening of the 12th Northeast Zonal Conference of the State Direction of Security have expressed grave concern over emergency security threats and criminalities capturing and igniting crises across the region. The three-day conference holding at the Borno State Command of the Department of State Services began on Monday, August 21st. The Shehu of Borno, Alhaji Abubakar Ibn Umar El Kanemi, who spoke first over the emerging criminalities and security threats in the communities in Borno State, recalled that such threats gave birth to crises because they were neglected, citing example of a growing group of miscreants unleashing terror in the Maiduguri metropolis. The CP called for strengthening synergy and cooperation among all security agencies across the region to identify criminalities. The Nigerian Bar Association says it has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the suspended Resident Electoral Commission of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Adamawa State, Hudu Yunus Ari, and a young lawyer in Aba, Ifunanya Grant. While Inusa Ari was petitioned over his role in illegally declining the result of the supplementary 2023 governorship vote election in Adamawa State, as votes were still being counted, the complaint against Ms. Grant centered on her social media notoriety of posting pictures and videos of herself unclad and smoking marijuana. The statement issued on Saturday by the National Publicity Secretary of the NBA, Akorede Lawal, says that the decision was reached by the National Executive Committee of the NBA during its recent monthly meeting, presided over by its president, Yakubu Mekyo, SAN, and attended by all national officers of the NBA. Former Nigerian President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan is to lead a joint observer mission of the African Union AU and Common Market of the East and Southern African COMESA for Zimbabwe's general election scheduled for 18th or 23rd of August. A statement by AU Commissioner Chairperson Musa Mohammed said Jonathan left Abuja on Saturday along with a team comprising of 73 short-term observers and 3 core teams of electoral experts who would be involved in the election observation activities from August 16 to 29 in the Eastern African country. With the new assignment of the former Nigerian president, is leading the 4th AU election observation mission, having nailed electoral observation duties in Tanzania, Mozambique, and Zambia. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana SAN yesterday demanded the immediate release of the detained chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa. Falana, in a statement issued in Lagos, said the remanded order for Bawa has expired, hence the Department of State Service no longer have legal grounds to continue detaining him. The senior lawyer said the fact that Abdul Rashid Bawa has not been charged with any criminal offense whatsoever, the State Security Service ought to have released him from custody. Bawa, who is being currently held in the custody of the DSS in Abuja, is being probed for alleged financial impropriety of Underwatch. He has been in custody of the Department Service for exactly 69 days since June 14th. The National Emergency Management Agency on Sunday said it has commenced its arrangement for the distribution of 180 trucks of rice to various states and recommended by the National Economic Council. The federal government on Thursday announces 5 billion palliatives for each state and the federation, and of the 18 trucks of the rice as part of measures to lessen the pains of the subsidy removal. The policy, which held to sharp and multiple increase in fuel pump prices, which has driven up food prices and services, pushing millions of Nigerians into poverty and worsening socio-economic situation in the country. But announcing the release of the palliative at the end of the 134th National Economic Council meeting, presided over by Vice President Kasim Shettima in Abuja. The Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum disclosed that the The 5 billion were to enable the state government to procure a 100,000 bag of rice, 40,000 bag of maize and fertilizers to cushion the effect of food shortage across the country. He added that considering the urgency in the meeting, the need to mitigate and skyrocketing food prices across the country, the federal government have privileged weeks released 5 trucks of rices to each state of the federation. The United States government, through its agency of the International Development, USAID, has partnered the federal government of Nigeria and other stakeholders to reduce malnutrition through improved access to ready-to-use therapeutic food, focus on fostering innovation and collaboration to address severe acute malnutrition areas. The stakeholders staged a trade fair in Abuja tagged Ready-to-Use Therapeutic Food, RUTF, and other life-saving nutritional commodities expo. The event provided a platform for government officials, the donor community, and RUTF manufacturers to discover challenges, share experience, network, and explore collaborative opportunities in expanding RUTF programs, allowing local manufacturers, investors, and other operators in the RUF and other life-saving commodities to value chain and show their products and innovation. With persistent challenge relating to food insecurity, limited access to quality health care, and inadequate nutrition interventions, the situation calls for robust and many-sectoral collaborations and innovation. Expanding sustainable local access to afford life-saving nutrition commodities is essential to address a severe malnutrition in Nigeria. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles showing now on your screen. We'll be back right after this short break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts from News Express in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, has rejected the 3-year power transition plan proposed by the Niger Republic military junta, ECOWAS. ECOWAS Commission for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abel Fattah Musa, announced the decision of the international government body of West African countries in an interview with the British Broadcasting Corporation. In a late-night address on Saturday, Niger Republic's self-declared head of state, Abdurrahmani Tijani, said the country would return to civilization rule within 3 years. The coup leader gave no details of the plan, saying only principles for the transition will be decided within 30 days at a dialogue to be hosted by the junta. The junta leader spoke after meeting with an ECOWAS delegation led by Nigeria's former head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar. About 30 households has been ordered to evacuate the Canada's British Columbia province, where nearly 400 wildfires are raging. 2 huge fires in the Shuabs region merged overnight, destroying blocks of houses and other buildings. To the south, travel to the waterside city of the Kalogna has been restricted, and smoke from nearby fires hang over Lake Okagana. Fires have charred from homes in West Kalogna in a city nearby with 336,000. The travel restriction around Kelowna is designed to ensure enough accommodations for evacuees and emergency workers. It also applies to the towns of Kalups, Oliver, and Penpiction of Venom and Oyosus. Hundreds of miles north in a different province, a huge fire continues to edge towards the city of Yellowknife. As people across Southern California sheltered from Hurricane Hilary, another natural disaster hits a magnitude of 5.1 earthquake. Its epicenter was northwest of Los Angeles and was soon trending on social media. It did not cause major damage, as the hurricane has also since been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said over 100 fire stations were checking buildings for damage. She warned more fire aftershocks will likely be over in the next few days. The quake hit at the same time as the post-tropical cyclone Hillary, which left many residents unsure where they should check or seek cover. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has unveiled a series of fresh operational guidelines for forex sales by Bureau de Change (BDC) operators in the country. This is coming more than 2 years after the suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele announced the suspension of foreign exchange sales to BDC operators in that segment of forex. Under the new framework, the spread of buying and selling by BDS operators in this is set to fall within the permissible range of -2.5% to +2.5% of the Nigerian forex exchange market windows, weighted average rate from the previous day. Spain beat European champions England 1-0 to become the World Women's Champion Cup Championship in the final at the Stadium Australia in Sydney on Sunday. Captain Olga Carmona fired Spain ahead in the 29th minute, Cullen finishing in the right-hand corner after a rapid counter-attack. England's best chance came from Lauren Hemp, who rattled the crossbar with a powerful strike as both teams bid to win the World Cup for the first time. The game was briefly interrupted by a fan wearing a Patriot cloth tampered Free Ukraine t-shirt before being tackled by security. Bendel Insurance FG of Benin on Saturday defeated visiting AC Olympic Shelf of Algeria 1-0 in the first leg of their first-round clash of the 2023-2024 CF Confederation Cup. Striker Imade Orankle grabbed the winner inside the Samuel Stadium in the 42nd minute ahead of the run leg on August 27th in Algeria. Insurance wasted 3 chances in the first 30 minutes before connected Sunday IMO free kick to give the Nigerian side the lead and send fans at the park of the stadium into rapturous celebrations. Abdurrahman Hamra of ASO received the first yellow card of the match for rough play on Zaid Ayuba, with the result free kick leading to the goal. The second half resumed with the Insurance picking from their first half performance, but were matched by visitors who stepped up their game and became more tactical. France Olympic Lions and German champions Bayern Munich are both eyeing Super Eagles midfielder maestro Wilfried Ndidi, Scornet reports. However, recent development reveal a diving path for these two European giants in the pursuit of the Nigerian sensation. The 26-year-old defender midfield steward boasting of an impressive 236 appearances and 11 goals for Lancasters. Currently under the contract until June 2024, he has undergone unnoticed by the foreign suitors. Olympic Leonards initially expressed a keen interest in securing Ndidi's service. The Fox are determined to only part ways with Ndidi on permanent basis. That's it on Global TV News Express. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using Global TV NG and on other handles showing on your screen. I am Fauziya Lukman. Thank you very much for watching.